up me and they're going to talk about why they want to be in the legislature, why they want to have a seat. Let me tell you something. I'm not interested in just having a seat in the legislature. I'm interested in governing. And in the state legislature, you cannot govern if you are not in the majority. Let me tell you something. We have an opportunity to be in the majority. Sean Steele was just here. He was talking to you about redistricting. And every time we've had an even reasonably moderately reasonable example of redistricting, we've created anywhere between 10 and 15 competitive districts. That's districts where Republicans can go head-to-head with Democrats and express our ideas, compare our ideas to their ideas. And let me tell you something. When we show up, when we have an opportunity to compare our ideas, our values to theirs, we win. We win in the state of California. I believe we can be in the majority for this reason. Think about this. This is the state that passed 3 strikes. This is the state that passed Jessica's Law. This is the state that defended marriage not once, but twice. We passed Proposition 11, Proposition 13. We passed a number of different issues. Matter of fact, we just voted down the largest tax increase in state history. That was California that did that. We are a center-right state. So why is it that Democrats control the legislature? It's because we haven't shown up. And that's what it's got to be about. If we're going to be in the majority, we've got to go where we have been. Politics is like war. War is about taking ground. If you're going to take ground, you've got to go to where the enemy is. In my county, Sacramento County, it's interesting. We have Assembly District 10, which was once held by Republicans. We lost it this last session. We have AB 15, which also comes into our county. We lost it to the Democrats. They have no problem coming in and challenging us on our turf. Well, you know what? It's time to turn the tables on them. I'm in the 5th Assembly District, which is a Republican district currently held by Assemblyman Roger Milo. But the interesting part is I live in a very Democratic portion of the overall Republican 5th Assembly District. When I started on the school board where I served, I was the only Republican. But not only was I the only Republican, I was the only individual who was not a member of my local collective bargaining unit, which means I was the only non-union leader on my school board. So what did I do? Did I stand up and say, "Go GOP"? No. I governed according to our values. I'll give you one example. School districts are funded based on ADA, average daily attendance, and enrollment is the biggest part of that. How many students you have enrolled. For 3 years, we have been suffering from what's called declining enrollment, which means we were getting less students. Yet our budget assumptions were based on growth. See, that's how liberals do it. They project more money coming in. That's how they rationalize spending more money than they're going to bring in. So I became board president and I said, we will no longer pass a budget that does not have as a budget assumption declining enrollment. We're now in year 9 of declining enrollment. But you know what? We're one of a handful of districts in Sacramento County that has a positive budget. Now, that doesn't just mean that our budget is balanced this year. It means it's balanced next year and the year after that. Now, I wish I could take credit for that. I wish I could take all the credit for that. But you know what? It's because we have not just one Republican on the board. Because we don't just have 2 Republicans on the board. Because we have a Republican majority on a school board that is in a largely Democratic area. And that comes by governing by Republican values. Ours is not the only school district in the state of California that's running a budget surplus. Or not a budget surplus, but has a positive budget. And guess what? They're all governed by Republicans. There are cities in the state of California that are not running budget deficits, but guess what? They're governed by Republicans. Our values work if we show up. If we simply show up and share those values with passion, with understanding, helping people understand how what we believe, in fact, works. I remember one time I had a chance to speak at Sacramento State University, and it was the Democratic Socialist Party, the American Communist Party, the Peace and Freedom Party, and the All African People's Revolutionary Party, and myself. Now, the scary part was the All African People's Revolutionary Party, he agreed with me on way too often, but I won't go there. But the point that I'm trying to make was, who do you think got all the questions? I did. The Republican did, because they've never seen a Republican before. Because we don't go out into the highways and the hedges. We don't go to where the people are in order to talk to them, to convince them as to why our values work. Because guess what? They do. I've proven it already in Sacramento County. I've proven it on our school board. And if I'm elected, when I am elected to the state assembly, I'm not just going to represent the 5th Assembly District, but I'm going to represent our values up and down the state. I am going to be a tip of the spear Republican, going to where it is that we need to go, helping to elect candidates that need to get elected so that we can be a Republican majority, so that we can govern, so that we can deal with issues like our broken budget, so that we can deal with issues like taxation, so that we can deal with issues like education. Because if we want to do it, it doesn't matter as much who we elect to governor or lieutenant governor, all of those. If we don't have a Republican legislature, the ones who make the laws, then they're not going to be able to do everything that they stand and they tell me that they want to do. I need your help to do that. You know what it's like to go behind enemy lines. You know what it's like to put boots on the ground. You've done it in race after race as an organization and as an individual. I'm asking for your help. I'm up in Sacramento County. I think any of the folks who are up there at any of the universities, any folks who are even down into the Bay Area will tell you, I am committed to doing whatever I need to do to help you. And all I ask in return is that you stand up and that you be proud Republicans wherever you are. Stand in the belly of the beast and declare loud as you can that I am a Republican. Declare it loud and proud. And don't just talk the talk, but walk the walk. And that's how we're going to have a Republican majority in the state of California again. Thank you.